Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to HashTag Trending. Now, I'm your host, MaxMello94, and today we start our official episode where in this first podcast we discuss uh, the week in review in professional wrestling. Now, we obviously know that a couple of things have been going on this week. A few things in particular in Bleacher Report has been coming up in WWE. Uh, Certain things regarding to Divas Division, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and of course, actually a couple of issues regarding the CM Punk chants that happened during particularly AJ Lee's matches. Now, here in this discussion, we were discussing these things. We kind of went a little all over the place, but we hopefully we talk about all the shows that were happening this week, particularly Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, main event, and we talk about NXT. Now, some of us didn't see everything this week, but we saw the big shows this week, and we just anything regarding to their minor shows like main event and NXT and anything else that WWE comes up with for the week, we just stick to what we know. We talk about who we look forward to seeing in the main event. The main roster, and who we think in the main roster already should get better recognition. Because in NXT, there's a couple there. You see a whole different side of WWE there, where the guys and gals just get to show off their talent to the highest level, especially even the girls who get like no more than 10 minutes 10 minutes at a time. But for now, let's just dive into that session with me and a couple of buddies that are just crazy about this stuff, and we will find out what we all thought.
Okay, so we're starting the first episode here. So we're gonna start now with just wrestling in review this whole week. Monday Night Raw. Some of you guys online said you rated it in very different manners. This one said 6.5 at the most. How did you said it was?
That would be me. I said 6.5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How did you guys feel about it? Can you say it was good at least?
It was good. I gotta admit, there's a lot of good stuff happened throughout the night.
Yeah. So our guys here, they might come up with nicknames or not. So far, as you all know me, I'm MaxMello94 here, and this is hashtag trending with the Rod.
Yes.
So now you have his voice. I'm gonna stick with Tony.
Sounds good to me so far.
Yeah.
Tony
and
Harold Jones.
What?
Harold Jones.
Harold Jones.
Yes.
Okay, Harold Jones. And yeah, so this is us for now. We had more members showing up, but unfortunately, things came up.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, things came up, so we'll have to save those brothers for another day. But as the show goes on, in different episodes, we'll have more guest people, just more friends, and who knows, maybe someday someone known, if this ever goes anywhere. So
wish us luck.
So
cough, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Yes. Nah. Okay. So Monday Night Raw. What were you guys rated overall?
Well, let's start with the highest. I rated it at 8. I did.
8.
Yes, I said 8 because for some reason, the beginning took me over. I like come on, let's be honest. A lot of people bitched about John Cena for a while. Yeah. And his speech was kind of good, and people started cheering. Yeah. I was like, finally, he's doing something. And he finally said the word "son of a bitch." That's let's be honest. Once he said "son of a bitch," everybody's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Yeah, man, like, come on.
Yeah. Nah, that was awesome. He was. I will say he is good on the mic. People can't complain, but there was a couple of things like the opening segment was perfect because him and Paul Heyman, and to see John looks distressed when he's just pacing back and forth in the ring, and he just spoke with enormous passion to the point where it's like, Wow. I mean, I do like how he used the word SOB because of the way he's like, I'm walking out with this son of a bitch. Like, but a lot of people feel like he should lose it because, just for obvious reasons, it would probably be no good if he did win it. And then Brock Lesnar would be something fresh. And it would help Brock Lesnar stand more powerful in that sense.
Do you think it'll help Brock Lesnar to stay in WWE instead of just winning it and just going around and be like, okay, who wants to defend the next?
Well, that's what people worry about. Like Bleacher Report was saying a couple of times, even though Bleacher Report really looks very opinionated, they do have points. Even if it's like one guy saying it'd be good, he has to win at SummerSlam. One guy saying Brock Lesnar would not be best for business because he's not someone who lingers around. Like, first of all, Paul Heyman was the one out there. Like, it's fine if Paul Heyman talks, but to not even have Brock show up is stupid.
Yeah, I find it funny when Cesaro came out. He's like, what the fuck is this guy doing next to me now? Like, seriously, you're not my Paul Heyman guy anymore.
Yeah. He had that look of like, what are you doing here? Like, he's hugging him. Cesaro came out hugging him. He's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, and Cesaro goes off, like, even though I'm not working with Paul Heyman, he is my friend, and I will not allow you to talk to him like that.
That bullshit voice.
It felt too awkward.
It did feel awkward just him coming out there. But when he started talking, it got a little interesting.
Yeah. And
their match was good. The match was good. I'm not gonna lie.
That suplex from the other side of the ropes, I'm like, he never ceases to amaze me. That dude has a future as a big time champion.
Yeah. How did you feel, Harold Jones? Because you're a harsh critic, actually.
I don't know. I mean,
well, how did you rate Raw again?
I gave it like a 6.5 for
5. You and Tony are on the same page.
Tony.
You're on the same page.
It's time for the low numbers to discuss.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I feel like let's just talk about that. Why 6.5?
Because the beginning was good, but just the middle of it
it was like up and down, right?
Yeah, it was like forgetful, you know? Like I forgot what happened in Monday Night Raw. Like the beginning was good.
We're in trouble here.
Yeah. Once somebody forgets the middle part, that's it. It's all over.
I mean, I totally forgot like the matches.
Yeah. Well, actually, even believe it or not, because you and me went to a Monday Night Raw last year in July. And even I forget half of the matches. The only one I remember vividly was Fandango and Randy Orton, and then there was, it was Chris Jericho with RVD.
Yeah, that was the match of the night. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Was
and
there
then
a
there
dark
was
match?
No, it was.
There was no dark match that day.
No, there was dark match.
Was,
it was Ryback and John Cena for the WWE Championship in the tables match.
Tables match. Oh.
And it was actually good. It was actually fun to watch.
Nice.
And what about the Miz? The Miz fought Ryback, right?
I think we heard that. We didn't see the pre-show, matches, because the show actually starts at 7:30, but they have like 2 or 3 matches before the show actually airs.
Yeah.
So we were hearing that because we were on the concession stand waiting for food, and we hear Brodus Clay at the time coming out. We hear Ryback's music, which lasted literally 60 seconds, the match itself. So then we heard The Miz. And then,
Before we keep on going about this Monday Night thing, how would you rate about a person going to Monday Night Raw?
Going to the show?
Yeah, going to the show personally. How would you think the experience was? Was it that good?
I'll say this. It was surreal. I mean, even if it was the second time, because I went with Tony the first time with our absent friend who will be named by Slim C unless he changes it otherwise. Slim C will be his name because that's how he called himself originally when we tried to attempt this the first time, and both Raws were just ill. I mean, it's fun. It feels so awesome being there, whether the show sucks or not. The thing is, it feels weird watching the matches because you don't have Michael Cole and JBL and Jerry in your ears hearing them talk. You see them, but you're not going to hear them unless you probably say.
Yeah, say, Michael Cole, you always say this stupid stuff. Come on, man.
No, but like the commentary makes it more dramatic when you watch it on television. I'll say that it feels more dramatic on television because unless they're talking, it doesn't feel so interactive. Because it's like it's awesome to see them on television, but then when
You
you're
don't really
there,
you don't really miss them though. 'cause,
Nah,
like,
you don't miss them
yeah,
at all.
Nah.
You don't.
It's the whole point. The whole point is just to hear the wrestlers, see them wrestle, and the commentaries for people that don't have TV anyways. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, if you have somebody like JR, I mean,
Yeah, that's gonna be
JR.
different.
Yeah,
JR 's
Man,
different.
JR was an awesome commentator.
my God, he knocked his head off. Like,
Yeah.
Anybody
You
try
have
his barbecue
somebody-
sauce? It's pretty good. Nah.
If you have CM Punk talk, you want to hear him. Yeah.
oh yeah, Punk, like, he's another one who's gone. And Monday Night Raw has, speaking of Raw, like, I rated it this week. I think I gave it an 8 because I have different standards. Tony, you gave it a 6.5 as well. Why, in your opinion?
Main reason was you kicked it off with like a great beginning.
Yeah.
You gave us John Cena. You gave us a passionate John Cena. No joking around John Cena, which I can't stand.
Yeah.
And you have him and Cesaro finally saying what everyone's been wanting to hear. Him telling him to his face, you can't wrestle and all these things.
Yeah.
Then they put on a great match,
Yeah.
which I want to see from John Cena every week. And then you just start die down through the show. I mean, the Paige and AJ, the throwing her over the table was great. And I feel like those are the two divas that are going to carry the division to the next level. But then you just kill off the show slowly until you get to the very end. Which
Yeah.
I want that through the whole entire show again. That's
Yeah, there was a tag team match that I think is just a repeat of last week.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I didn't hate so much on it is because there's a couple of things. One, I watch it for specific people sometimes now. Like, I'm treating it like how certain people would treat boxing. Like, if they have a particular fighter they want to see, then that's when they'll watch it. But if they're not there, they're not going to see it. With me, I'm following the girls a lot. The Divas segment was actually good to me because last week it was, or was it 2 weeks ago at this point, when Paige finally turned heel. That's when she threw AJ over the table and knocked her head into the pole.
You know what I mean? That was heaven on earth.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. Max was like, yes. I was like, yes.
Yes.
Tony, I never heard about Tony before.
How did you, when you saw her turn heel, you were thinking, like, finally?
I wasn't thinking finally, but I was like, they finally have a good, heel deal. We don't got someone just gonna be here and that we can't really stand to watch. But you have like Paige finally, and then you finally like have AJ to be the face.
Yeah.
Because at certain points, it was like you're not sure what side AJ is playing for. Like, is she heel? Is she face? She's against the diva. She's her own person. She's like the Stone Cold of the divas.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Like,
She's like the face of the division in a way because look at how she takes the title back originally.
Man.
It's deja vu
like
with the way Paige took it, but then
Monkey see,
AJ,
monkey do. No.
it's a monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. She just took it like that. It looks like Paige was there to hold it for her, and it looked like they trusted her with it, even though she's new as far as the main roster goes because she can carry it.
She had decent matches.
Yeah, she actually had a good match with Naomi at the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That was such an awesome match.
the one she had with Caitlyn was great too.
Yeah, AJ never fought Naomi for a title match, but Paige and Naomi had one. But yeah, AJ always had good matches with Caitlyn when they had that feud last year.
Oh yeah.
Which I hate that.
This is in the world. Damn.
I hate that Caitlyn left,
What?
but
When AJ dissed Caitlyn, I felt so sorry for Caitlyn.
Oh yeah.
that whole
pictures, man. Pictures.
that whole thing was just horrible. But yeah, sticking to today's issues. Her and Paige are finally kicking off what looks like an interesting feud. They're learning a little bit about each other more, which looks like, because the thing is, there's so many opinions on this. Some people feel like they hate it because their chemistry in the ring is very weird when they fight.
AJ and Paige, right?
When they fight in the ring, the chemistry is not completely there, but I don't want to hate on it because if I'm not mistaken, people said that when Trish was around and Lita, originally, particularly Trish Stratus, she wasn't exactly favorable right away. She got good as the time went on.
She was like a bodybuilder, so like, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was a bodybuilder.
She was into a lot of weight training and stuff like that. It wasn't until later on.
She was a front
got
cover of
into,
one of the magazines for bodybuilding too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember hearing guys talk about how like Trish wasn't so good right away. It wasn't until like as time went on. So with these two, this is the first time they're really clashing. So I'm saying let it build. Don't hate too much right away. I mean, guys on Bleacher Report, they have the weirdest opinions. The guys who give them grades, I sometimes like that because it's like it feels like an interesting way to analyze Monday Night Raw. they gave that segment I think a C plus when they were
C+?
when they were finally having promos with each other
Yeah.
this week, and I was like, why is it always
When
a C
Paige
plus?
called
The
her-
girls deserve at least a B minus at this point.
Wait, when Paige called her crazy?
Well, just the idea of those two having promos together at each other. They always graded C plus, and those girls are their best ones. So
Man, they brought back the C word. Do you know how crazy it's gonna be? Oh,
that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't agree
That's
with
the thing. It's like I'm just fine. I just thought of this last night. I was like, calling AJ crazy is like calling her a bitch, and it's like I'm telling you, if this was. I feel like if this was the Attitude Era, it would have been a different story. They probably would have called her that.
Yeah.
But she doesn't act really like that. She acts more. She is crazy. As far as like you put her in that right attitude, she will act psycho on you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with Paige, I feel like because on SmackDown she did something different, and based on that, it felt like she's becoming the crazy one. In a delusional manner, like
Paige,
like I feel like she's becoming more of like the smooch off of Mickey James because Mickey James had like those periods of like having spurs, but she would like
Mickey James was crazy in real life.
really?
From what I hear, she was obsessed with John Cena, and
Then I don't.
That's why she got fired.
Then I don't want to meet her.
That's why she got fired.
Yeah.
Oh,
She got fired.
I didn't know
fired.
that.
And yet I hear they want to induct her in the Hall of Fame. Why?
That's gonna be an awkward because they don't have that many divas left to.
Yeah.
To be honest,
That's the thing.
They inducted Trish Lita though.
You already inducted Moolah. Who do you got next?
Oh, Tara. I mean, AKA Victoria.
I mean, there was
maybe Victoria.
Maybe Victoria.
Maybe Victoria.
That makes sense.
Was Victoria big?
yeah,
She was good
For a
she
while,
was good.
yeah.
She was good for a while.
Molly
Yeah,
Holly.
Molly Holly, yeah.
And there's no
You
way.
got some-
There's no way in hell.
What about the girl? What about the girls from the '90s?
Yeah, you got some girls in the 90s.
The only one they ever did was
I forgot her name. It was this
Sable-
girl. She was like this.
Sable hasn't gone in yet.
Sable hasn't
Yeah.
gone in,
They still got the girls from the Attitude Era.
What about
'cause-
that girl that was about to strip for Jerry? I forgot what's that.
Kid.
Was it
Cat?
Sunny?
The
Yeah,
cat or
kid,
Sunny?
yeah.
Yeah,
Sunny.
there you go.
Sunny,
There you
Sunny.
go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sunny's the only one I think from the Attitude Era itself who's there, like really from the '90s.
A girl, yeah, that's a female.
There's girls from. There was a few women from the '80s. I don't know if they ever got in there. A few
No,
that
I
like
don't think so.
they never.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever really wrestled, but just in their character roles, they were very good. This one girl in particular, I forget her name. She was like this sight. She looked like a weird chick.
Luna?
Who was it?
Was it a Luna? When she had the
Lu-
mohawk and
I
the
think-
tattoos on the side of her head.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, it
she's
was. Yeah. Oh, she's
She's
there?
she's
in.
in there.
She's in the hall.
Oh, she is.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
I just I get the feeling there's a couple of girls I probably
They had
but I could be
females
wrong.
that wrestled in the 90s. though,
Yeah.
Not as big
Not
as
as
now.
much as
No.
now, yeah.
Yeah, cause
Still, you got
Yeah.
the Attitude Era with the females were awesome.
Yeah.
Jackie was there. A lot of people were there.
it
It wasn't. I feel like it wasn't as respected as now.
Yeah.
No, I think
I don't
it's
think
more
it's more-
respected.
yeah, yeah.
Back
More
then, I
respected.
mean,
You gotta
to have Lita and Trish main event a Raw one day,
True.
we'll never see that.
Then you change the name to Divas.
Divas.
Yeah,
We're
and then the
div-
belt killing off the women's championship.
Nobody
belt.
wants to be called a diva. No girl wants to be
word
called a
diva
diva.
is
So that's what I find stupid.
It's so stereotypical.
Such sluttiness, like diva.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Nobody
To me,
wants-
no.
Let's be honest. Women is more calling.
Women is more respectful.
Exactly,
Yeah.
more
It has more-
serious, more strict.
Yeah.
Saying to go take the
Yeah,
serious.
they,
the
like,
women's division.
Kids are supposed to look up to like girls who are divas. Right?
Yeah, it's just like I'm the
Divas.
women's champion, like I'm the
Right.
greatest woman in this thing, and then you're saying like I'm the divas champion. It just makes you sound like you're the bitch of bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. On a guy note, you want your homos get active by watching women. Divas,
Yeah.
oh yeah, divas. Okay, I could watch it out. You porn, what the hell? Like, come on.
Maybe I think that's why it's such a turn off because of the fact that they changed the name like that. Because like when it's women, it's like because I think I could imagine being a guy watching it. Like say you're going to an event, you hear women, they're like, oh, they got women. I feel like that would be a more draw
Yeah, but-
than saying the divas are gonna fight or like
Yeah.
who wants to see a bunch of self-absorbed chicks.
Yeah, it's like
just
we're trying
fighting
to
each other.
get
Cares about
cavemen.
reality
It's like,
TV.
oh, we got divas. Right? It's like,
Speaking of divas, we got total divas going around, and the show actually is very good. But
wait, what's this about? We got a new girl in the.
Yeah, they got Rosa Mendes.
Rosa Mendes is gonna be in it.
That's weird.
I heard you gonna.
Rosa Mendes. There was a meme.
I heard you
There
gonna.
was a meme who and they put Family Guy Peter in class,
Yeah.
Big in the show and told he was like, Rosa Mendes is going to be the new member. And the guy saying, who the F cares? Like, they're like, oh my God, who the hell cares?
That's kind of interesting because like they barely talk about her. She's barely wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm surprised they're putting her in. I guess it's like anyone who they don't want to see on television. But yeah,
it could be. I mean, it could be cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
let's see. She might. The thing is, I don't want her to turn to another Summer Rae or Eva Marie because the way Summer Rae is in that show.
It's kind of funny how all the girls from Total Divas are turning evil, right? It's like that's funny.
Yeah, and we're so off, but going into continuing with Monday Night Raw, the rest of the night, I guess, was an up and down roller coaster up until that last segment. With the tag team match between where Dolph Ziggler and Miz were facing each other again, I think they were partnering. I forgot who they were partnering with.
The Usos.
The Usos. And
Ryback and
Miz was with Ryback, which is actually Ryback was actually an interesting group to me because when they watch, the thing is you don't see them talk, but when you watch them on the app, they actually have interesting arguments with each other. Curtis Axel likes to.
See, they need to put that in the actual show.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like anyone who doesn't talk on television, they're gonna talk on the app. And the thing is that the app is all pre-recordings. So Ryback and Curtis Axel, they jab at each other a lot on the app.
That's funny.
Really, Curtis Axel takes more jabs on Ryback. Ryback is kind of like turning face more, while Curtis Axel still has a bit of heel in him. Because there are times where when they end the segment with Ryback being like, I don't like this. So it's like, I get the feeling he's going to turn on him because there was always rumors saying that his catchphrase, feed me more, is coming back.
He's a good face. Good face.
And I was like, oh, I missed that so much. I was like, I'm waiting for the day where they're going to be in a match and they just get ticked off at each other, or Curtis Axel was like happy, like, yeah, high five or something like that. And then Ryback just has that straight face and just pushes him.
That would be a cool match.
And just puts the meat hook on him. No, like they have one as a team, and then they end it with Ryback turning on Curtis Axel.
That would be a good match. They should. If it ends like that.
Speaking of teams, what you think about Goldust and Stardust?
Don't even get me started on those.
Do you like them?
I'm not. I mean, it's interesting to see Cody do something unique.
Yeah, it's actually fitting him, to be honest. He's becoming the new Bizarro.
At first, I hated it. I hate the idea of him being a Goldust Jr. I'm like, that sucks because he deserves more, but
it's getting him more over.
It's getting him more over.
The crowd goes crazy for him.
If anything, it's a challenge for him as a character, like to have a gimmick like that.
It would be more of a reason why to make him a feud.
Yeah, we got to see the feud. It has to go somewhere.
Well, I think for now they're working towards the tag team championships because they keep referring to this cosmic key, and people believe it's the tag team champions. And I saw on, I think it was WWE the app. They asked which team do we want to see take the titles away from the Usos, and more people voted for Goldust and Stardust. Even though the Wyatts have always come close, but at this point they might as well just stay away because it's just ruining them as a threat.
Unless they win it the next time they face them, because they can't. There's a limit to how many times you can lose for that one title.
Yeah, because Goldust. The funny thing is, even though Goldust and Stardust and Cody as themselves held it for a while, this will feel different because of their gimmicks. They're like the brothers of Bizarre World.
The Wyatts should just have it though.
Yeah, but you know what I feel like they're doing to the Wyatts? They're doing the same thing that they did to the Usos. The Usos took so long to get those titles, and I look at that. They have match after match after match for those titles, and now recently,
and they always steal the show.
Yeah, they always steal the show, but they always lost.
Yeah.
Well, look at now. Wyatts were dominating one of the matches, one of the tag team matches they had, and look what happens. The Usos miraculously come back and win it with two splashes.
I think it's because I think the thing is they're listening to us a lot in a way where I feel they rely on our reactions. So like when the day comes that they do decide, okay, you guys are gonna win it, we'll give them big pops at that point. But the problem with that is like there's a reason why Monday Night Raw is up and down. Like this week, in the middle, the segments that were good were when Chris Jericho was taking jabs at Stephanie, how he used to do back in the day.
Hilarious.
Where he's like, dirty, filthy, trash bag. I think he was going to call her a hoe, but he can't because it's PG. And
horror would be fine.
Not really. Not really. The fact that... No, because there's a reason why Triple H cut him off. But Are you kidding? If it was 1999, Jericho would just go off on Stephanie and everyone would love it. But
I miss those segments.
yeah, but nah, it's good. It was good to see Jericho take jabs at her. It was just like, oh yes, this is
Flashback.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
As soon as the music hit, it was just like flashback.
Yeah. I didn't expect that. If anything, the funny thing is, for me, I liked it. I gave it a high rating because the fact that the night was going to end with Stephanie and Brie, it was exciting for me because I had something to look forward to the night. So everything else before that looked good to me for the most part. And then I always look at, understand, I always look for the good in every segment for the most part. And with the tag team matches between Dolph and Miz was that the reason with that one, I'm going to get off it, but with that one, I saw what they're trying to do as far as story because because they're having a feud. So I think that's why they're having these match confrontations because they're trying to. I think what they're trying to do is tell it through the matches instead of just straight up promos all the time. Because with Friday Night SmackDown, that's what Friday Night SmackDown was turning into with the promos, or I think matches themselves because. Yeah. Because Raw and SmackDown have their own things going on, but with the rest of Raw, the Divas match was too short. The only highlight was the fact that Naomi did the submission on, I think it was Cameron.
Yeah,
and it was so.
Cameron.
I was like, oh my gosh, Naomi has good pops with her, and I like her a lot, but Cameron.
It was a short match, right?
Yeah, that's what pisses me off.
It always is a short match, though. It's just like,
but that's what I hate, though. The girls don't get credit. Natalia is one of their best. The girls are getting very good, especially Naomi now, and they don't let them do anything.
You know, wait, Natalia was with Emma? Or I missed it.
No, that was the week. That was the time that Paige turned heel. That was like that was last week.
Okay, I missed
that was the week before.
Well, you gotta be honest. If you see Natalia having better matches on NXT than on WWE, than on regular pay-per-views and shows, there's a problem.
Yeah,
there's a big problem because she had a great match with
Charlotte.
Yeah, she had a great match for the title. Seriously, like they were going back and forth.
Natalia and Paige, right?
Yeah,
not Natalia and Paige, but I'm talking about Natalia and Charlotte.
For the women's championship.
That was a great. I got
Bret Hart
25 minutes
Ric
of that
Flair
match,
in the corners. They made it look like the next generation.
You should have seen Ric Flair
and the players.
Oh wow, yeah, I missed.
And it was like, how do you miss that match? But yeah, the girls don't get to do much. And
so we're in NXT now.
Because it wasn't much. It was Cameron slapping Naomi for a while, and then Naomi does the submission, and then that's the end of the match. Natalia does 2 moves. In with those 2 moves, it was very good. But then it's like, why don't they let them do anything?
I thought the whole point of having Raw for 3 hours was for them to develop more superstars.
Exactly what I was thinking.
But they're not making it like that. They're just doing it quickly for no.
You have 3 hours and you're rushing 3 hours. Like you're giving us crap. Why are you giving us crap?
Because they gotta have time to like freaking talk about the app. Talk about like.
But they do that every freaking week.
Yeah.
One thing though, I noticed they don't talk about it as much. I think about it. Like they talk about the network, but not as much as they did 2 months ago. I've noticed a big difference. They bring it up, but not as in your face, where every commercial was about it. They just refer to it for the pay-per-views.
Yeah, because it was new, but by now it's like
by now the 6 month commitment is that
they're still talking about it a lot though.
They're still mentioning the WWE network, right?
Yeah, but they're not doing it. It doesn't feel as in our face anymore.
Not anymore, because now the WWE network's gonna go. Worldwide now? It's gonna be global.
Yeah, what's getting annoying is their recaps. Every Friday night, every main event is a recap. Could be because main event was they didn't have girls fight this past Tuesday. And I was so mad about that because what they instead did was show what happened on Monday Night Raw between Stephanie and Brie.
It's always about that.
I love that, but it's annoying, even for that night, because the way that night ended was so perfect. It was awesome, but I'm just sick of recaps of the same thing from Monday. For that, don't have any other show.
Yeah.
Just have Monday Night Raw.
That's it.
Because there was a time when SmackDown wasn't around. Raw came first, and then SmackDown came in the late 90s.
Yeah, I feel like after they reunited the 2 championships, they ruined SmackDown more.
Yeah,
SmackDown had their own rivalries going on, and maybe continue to Monday Night Raw. But that's the good thing about it. It continues.
Yeah.
They should like if you combine it, at least like take advantage of Friday nights, make it a continuation of the rivalries and stuff. You know, They did with AJ Lee and Paige. They're continuing on SmackDown. When you told me about how Paige pushed Raw, that's good. They should do that instead of just leaving it for Raw. Like sure, Raw is a great show. And it's been there for a long time. But now you have SmackDown. Now you have main event. Use them wisely. Main event should be good for the wrestling. It should all be about the wrestling main event. That's good. Maybe little promos from here and there.
Yeah, there was a time that SmackDown was like
it was great.
It was great.
The better show, yeah.
Because Undertaker, all those good ass people.
You had
there.
big names and you had it split up perfectly.
Yeah, the cruiserweight division.
Exactly.
The
got rid of that.
Killed it.
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't. Because I started watching, 2 years ago?
Sadly.
And it was... Well, no, I mean...
Let's be honest, you missed the first part bomb, it's sadly.
No, I know I missed the best part when wrestling was still the best thing to watch, and now everyone hates it. But, it's just, it took me a while to get into it. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know myself, but I finally did. But, actually, I'll have to thank John Cena and Rock for that because their match at WrestleMania was what made me want to see it again.
One or two.
The first time they were around. Sorry, at WrestleMania 28, because The Rock I always heard
one
about.
In a lifetime or once in a
Twice.
Yeah, turned into twice.
Twice in a lifetime.
Yeah, definitely.
I after that second match, even I was like,
it got better.
The second match is better than the first one.
Really?
I
like the second one too. I
like the first one.
I can see why. The second one was more serious, more duke it out. The second one. Sorry, the first was more funny version of John Cena trying to mock The Rock.
I like the promos in the first one. You see how
it ended? DK. He tried to do people's. Well, that's stupid. Why would you try to do that?
I love the first one, but I wish it. I felt like it finished too fast.
I'm surprised people are hating.
For me, I don't know. For me, it felt like
it just finished like a stupid him. John Cena being an idiot throughout the whole match. Him trying to show off saying I'm better than The Rock. But now you see on the next one, their second match, he's taking it serious. The Rock is taking it serious as always.
The first one was
and they're having a great match.
Yeah, no, but they're the reasons I got into it, but I liked that first match more. There was something about the second one that felt a little slower because the first one was I felt the first one was a little bit more back and forth.
Because it wasn't ready for a WWE title.
If anything, it lived up to the hype the first time.
Yeah, because the first time wasn't as big as the first. I mean the second. Because
the second one was for the belt.
It's for the belt. Yeah, of course it's good.
I was into it, but I just felt like when it ended, I was like, that's it.
Well, I mean, I was there. I was in 28. And
you went?
That atmosphere, like that environment that everyone's like watching, and you're just like, I can't believe this moment is finally here.
God,
my generation is going against this generation. It's like you want The Rock to win, and then when he actually wins, the stadium went nuts.
Yeah.
And then everyone just jumping out of their seats, running into the rows with their signs, throwing their shirts at each other, and like rubbing into the John Cena fans. Like that moment was amazing. But then and then I went the next year again. I went to 2029 because it was here. I was like, why not buy the ticket?
You went?
I've been to the last three.
I'm surprised.
I guess we have a person that will make us agree to go to a pay-per-view now.
No, the funny thing is, I was supposed to go with Charlie. Wanted to go to WrestleMania originally, but I don't know what made him decide. No, let's not do it. Biggest mistake I feel to him because that's probably going to be the only time we'll ever see The Rock.
No, I think you got one more chance.
All right. But I'm not. All I'm saying is whether Charlie goes or not, I'm going.
So we're going to San Francisco.
I am. That's for sure. But for 29, like when they were going against each other, and it was just like John Cena was going for those the shoulder blocks, and then The Rock ducks it. And it's just like they learning each other. They got each other, and then to see John Cena do the same silly crap where he's gonna do the people's elbow instead. This time he hangs up on the rope. Yeah. And then he comes back was amazing. I was like, this match is way better than the first one.
I was really into it too. Like I was like,
I didn't like the ending just because Rock has faced Hogan and Rock has faced Austin. And he beat them with 3 rock bottoms and a people's elbow. Yeah. Then he does it to John Cena. John Cena kicks out, and John Cena's not even kicking out at 2.5. He's kicking out at 2, which is like, dude, relax.
Yeah,
slow it down.
Yeah.
But I won't be surprised at it. It's not like The Rock beat them at the first time they had the chance.
Yeah.
Like he lost to Stone Cold a lot. He lost to Hulk Hogan sometimes.
He didn't win. He didn't win until their last match.
Yeah. So I won't.
Which I find very interesting.
I won't be
I was
too
like,
bitchy.
oh, wow.
I won't be too bitchy unless the kickouts. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. You're acting like you're freaking the Hulk and you're kicking out at anything. But
Well,
shit.
I mean, the first time they faced each other, The Rock was the heel, and Austin was like this big push. The second time they faced, Rock was leaving to film 2 movies.
Yeah.
And the third time it was like, we finally gotta let him do it.
Yeah.
Because this could be his last match too.
Yeah.
At least for that time being.
Until then.
Nowadays we're back with just John Cena, and as far as like, that's the thing, we go so off, but the rest of the week, I hate this.
Should we talk about TNA?
Before we jump into TNA, how about this Cena Brock thing happened at SummerSlam?
Cena and Brock.
Who's gonna win? Let's just go with that.
Brock.
I think Brock is gonna win this.
Brock.
Yeah.
It's sad to say, but yeah, they're gonna make Brock.
Yeah,
I think it's a bad idea.
Why do you think it's a bad idea?
I mean, you have Cena, who's just won his 15th championship, and now you're gonna have him lose it, which means he's just that much closer to winning, because his career is far from over. He's got another 10 years in him.
The thing is, he can't win any more belts, because then
you break Ric Flair.
If you got 10 more years, he's obviously gonna win it one more time.
He's gonna win it again.
Because really, you're gonna make him stay for 10 years and not win anything?
Well, look at Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels won the world title when he came back.
That was different.
When he came back,
but he didn't even want it.
He won the world title.
Yeah,
he didn't want it. He just wants to. At the end of his Shawn Michaels career, he just wanted. He was doing it because he loved his business, and it was. He never wanted to win the title again.
Because I always heard that he never really won a lot when he came back. Like as far as belts went,
he was pushing the guys.
He won the world title right away in SummerSlam, the Elimination Chamber. He won it right there.
And then lost it a month later.
Yeah. Sadly, but yes.
Did he ever get anything after that?
No.
Exactly.
Until he went to DX when they got the tag team title. The unification of it too. That's when they started going.
Oh,
DX started rolling. So I'm like, who gives a fuck about championship? We got DX up in this business.
I think that'll be cool for Cena to just be there and just push other guys and then just.
That's the thing. Like but that's the thing. He doesn't. The thing is, there's a reason why people are hating him more, because, and I like John, but I can see where this could be a problem. They shouldn't tarnish what Ric Flair had, because what Ric Flair took, 20 plus years to win, to get a record like that, is taking John 10. And that's not fair to guys who worked back in the day, especially during a time where it was all about making a name for yourself.
Yeah.
And that time when wrestling was at its peak, because it doesn't make sense. It looks, half the time his wins are undeserving.
It'll be okay if somebody beats Ric Flair's.
It doesn't. I don't really think
the thing is
matter anymore.
I just don't think it should be.
You're looking at it a different way. Ric Flair's time is that he hasn't been defending the world title as every freaking pay-per-view. Like, let's be honest, it's like once in a while or twice in a year or 3 times in a year. Depends how the manager feels like it. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, that's true.
If it was now, Ric Flair won't have 16 titles.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If it was right now, he won't have 16 titles. You will have half of it.
What's bad now is that how Cena is winning it though. You know what I mean?
They're treating it like a toy.
To be honest,
it is a toy.
To be honest, I thought Triple H would have beat Ric Flair's streak. That's what I thought. I thought they were gonna make Triple H.
But I think Triple H turned. Even if they said Triple H, we're gonna have you do it, I think he turned it down out of respect. Like, no, I'm not gonna break this record.
Yeah.
I'm wondering though, would John ever respect that?
I don't think so. I think John wants it.
I think people are using John as for a side plan to make more people do something on him. Because you see how they made a good choice. A lot of people cashed in Money in the Bank on John Cena. 2 out of 3 won it. So I wonder if they're gonna make him lose it, because sometimes they give him Cena the title and then making him wrestle good and then making somebody better win it. Let's be honest. Punk won it from Cena. After that, that's it. Daniel Bryan won it from Cena. Bam, that's it. Let's be honest. People win the title from Cena and they become a lot bigger and they keep on going and they keep on becoming great wrestlers.
Unless they quit.
That's true.
Yeah. Like
CM Punk,
like our CM Punk friend, and that's another thing. We because we're gonna talk about the rest of the shows, but Punk. Okay, we all know his contract ended a long time ago, and last month actually, towards the end of it. And
Well, that has finally ended the whole anticipation of what's going to happen. Now we know. Now here's the issue. Why are we still hearing chants? And particularly, why to AJ? AJ, we get it. She's married to him, but she's not going to be the reason he comes back at this point. If anything, because we don't know what they talk about, I'm assuming she's not going to convince him, even as a wife.
Yeah.
Because the wife, let's face it, they control half the shit.
You gotta figure.
She'll control half the stuff, and if he says no to something, I'm sure she'll make him tap out. But the thing is, it's kind of like disrespectful to her because she's not Punk.
Mm-hmm.
You may be, in a way, at this point, maybe the female version because she talks like him. She's straight up. She will not talk. She won't take crap from anybody. I mean, last summer she just shot the biggest promo I think I've seen in a long time.
So then we should have like AJ come out and be like, okay, guys, like start a new chant or something.
No. We're not gonna have. Obviously, they're not gonna make her do it. But some guy on Bleacher Report said that they noticed she's starting to look disturbed when they do that to her.
I wouldn't blame her.
Because frustrated. Why wouldn't you?
No, because
she's her butt off, and then she already hears CM Punk, so everybody wants AJ just for CM Punk. Get the hell out of here.
I'm like, after all these years of liking her, like now you're just gonna treat her like crap. It's like, are you liking her because it's her or because she's married?
Or because she's married to CM Punk, and then whatever happens with her, she's going to CM Punk.
The fans respect her. It's just that it's WWE fans. WWE fans are mostly idiots sometimes, right?
Yeah, you're gonna bring us a lot of heat then.
Be careful, my friend.
I'm sorry, but
no, don't be sorry. It's a podcast.
Don't tell them where you live, Harold.
But they're like, oh, she's married with CM Punk, so let's just chant CM Punk.
At this point, I don't feel like even CM Punk deserves to be chanted whether he's there or not. I mean, he quit. I mean,
exactly.
And one of those reports that that we read was that he didn't quit because he was hurt and couldn't come back. He didn't quit because he wasn't favored and liked. He quit because he couldn't take a year without being champion. Like, come on, Cena has gone 2 years without being champion. I don't think he went to Vince or Triple H bitching like, hey, how come you're not pushing me or you're not doing this? Like, you could have had a great match at WrestleMania. You could have had Taker again if you wanted to. You could have broke the streak. Instead, you wanted to stay home and cry.
But another thing is that, I mean, I don't know. One of my friends is a very harsh fan, but he follows so many things that kind of reveals too much. That he said that like, Punk's not an idiot. He knows that they weren't going to change that WrestleMania card if he didn't leave, because that card was originally going to be Batista versus Randy Orton, which would have been the biggest mistake of their life. That would have been the bathroom break.
My God.
Yeah, that meme was hilarious. Did you see the meme for that?
Oh, I love it. I put it as my.
When they showed Alfred saying they just want to see, just some people just want to watch the world burn, and then they showed Triple H laughing.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
I saw exactly one with Hulk Hogan pointed at there's the toilet, brother.
Oh yeah. I made that my profile picture with Hulk Hogan. They show the main event above, and then the bottom is Hulk Hogan saying, "The bathroom is that way, brother," during the main event, because that's going to be the time where everyone's going to want to leave.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't even believe. I think that even if CM Punk would have stayed around, that card would have changed to Daniel Bryan anyway, just because the fans were like, we're not going to watch two heels go at it. It's going to be the worst main event you can ever.
Exactly.
And then it looked exactly like WrestleMania 20's main event, if you think about it.
Oh.
Because you had Daniel Bryan, who was exactly like Chris Benoit. Sorry, we can't say that name.
Yeah.
I just brought out the name. And then you had,
you can say,
you had like the,
CB.
you had like the, the tag team at the end. At 20 it was DX. Like, oh, DX is together, and they're gonna, somehow take the championship
That's
away.
true, yeah.
And then you had this year where that was like Daniel Bryan looked like it, and then you had Evolution together, and then you had people chanting Evolution. And if you remember at 20, they did DX did a finisher on the table to Chris Benoit, and then this year Evolution did a finisher to Daniel Bryan.
Damn.
Oh.
And then it ended the same way,
And he's an underdog.
Exactly, the exact same main event.
That was a good match.
You don't even see it. They're giving you the same crap 10 years later, and no one's even paying attention.
Nobody even actually noticed.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it until now.
Me either. Oh my
I
God.
realized that.
You're welcome, fans, for this enlightenment.
Yes, we have a seasoned fan here.
What sucks about Punk leaving though is that it was a potential Daniel Bryan versus Punk match for the titles.
The funny
thing is,
it was a potential like two awesome wrestlers that went through ROH.
I
don't think they were ever gonna do that.
To be honest, I
so I said potential.
Something. It's true. What the guy on Bleacher Report said also was that like in a way, he left for no good reason. Like, what worker doesn't get like what he wants right away? And like, we get it. He's gone through more hell than anyone because there are things we're not going to know about him. He's probably going to know things we don't know. He probably knew what they were going to do, and then because I knew a spoiler that I was hoping would change at the last second because they always say anything can happen. Where they said that we were going to screw him out of the Royal Rumble, which they did, where they had Kane take him out, and I was hoping that wouldn't happen. But I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. And then I was like, well, there goes his main event. And I thought this year would have been perfect. It's an anniversary year, and what a great way then to start with your top guys, especially who are considered, according to Wrestling Illustrated, the best wrestlers in the world. 2 of the best guys out of everyone.
That's in WWE's wise, right?
Yeah, I was just saying.
Well, I don't know because they said in a overall
best wrestler in the world. Do you know how many people you gotta look at?
Yeah, exactly.
There's too much, and besides, there's some things in WWE that other wrestling companies do a lot better at.
Yeah, the wrestling hold it back a lot.
The wrestling, I think other companies' wrestling are much realer.
That's Daniel Bryan. That's Daniel Bryan compared to the locker room of WWE, and it's not great. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. They didn't say by what brand.
They do got 2 of the guys.
I feel like you could compare Daniel Bryan and CM Punk to the world because they've been around the world.
Yeah, and when you face Daniel Bryan, you face CM Punk, they carry their match. Like, look at every match that CM Punk had with Cena, and it was amazing. And then the matches that CM Punk had with The Rock was great. And then when you put Cena and Rock, it's just like nothing compares. And then you know, same thing with Daniel Bryan. And you put the 2 people that carry everybody together, you're just asking for like the main event of main events. Like, that would have been a beautiful WrestleMania 30 moment.
Perfect.
Even if you had it end the same way, and then Punk just comes out at the end of WrestleMania 30 like, oh, I'm back, and now we're gonna go at this.
Some people thought like there's ways that there were predictions about how he came back.
Yeah,
like he could have won the belt for that moment, and then called out Daniel Bryan to challenge him right then and there. And I'm like, that would have been worth extending the show to freaking 4 to 5 hours long.
But worth me going everywhere just to watch that show.
Of course.
Because I'm like, the thing is, it's like, I'm wondering what is wrong with them. Because even Mick Foley talks straight with them. After the Royal Rumble, he was pissed off. So he was like, what is wrong with this? Do they hate their fans? It's like
that's what it seems like. You having Batista winning, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like if you win 1 Royal Rumble and then you win a second, it's just like a great honor to win your second Royal Rumble because the record is 3.
Yeah.
And then the day that they do that and they break Stone Cold's record, the world's gonna, you know, flip out. But in the sense of having him win his second one to only be here for 5 months or whatever, however long his reign was, and then for him to, you know, leave the way he did, it was just so. Not well thought out at all. Just,
And also at this point, Batista's 45?
He's 45.
I know what
not even way past his prime, and then you got it's disgusting in a way.
And I read an interview with Batista the other day where he's like, I left WWE the first time to pursue acting. I was like, no, you left to pursue MMA, got your ass kicked, and then went to acting. You gotta change that up, sir.
True. Not anybody's Brock Lesnar, you know.
Yeah, Brock. I mean,
I love Brock. Yeah, I'm all for Brock Lesnar. You know, this thing that they're doing where they're trying to make Brock Lesnar look like this monster that can take out everyone is great idea. I mean, taking out you have him take out the Streak, and then if you're gonna have him take out Cena and like tag the championship, don't have him lose the championship. Yeah, and he can't carry those titles all the way to 31. Yeah, so have him hand over the titles to Triple H or something like that. Like he wins at SummerSlam, and then just, here you go, Triple H. This is what you wanted, right? And then continue to go on to be like that monster until
that could work actually.
Because his contract ends at WrestleMania 31. You know, bring someone to face Brock at WrestleMania 31 to finally kill the beast off, kind of thing.
Yeah, because they just want it in their possession, but I don't think they mean maybe necessarily them themselves. But yeah, that wouldn't be the worst idea if Brock handed it over to Triple H and Stephanie on Monday Night Raw after SummerSlam, and then just be like, here you go. But the thing is, Brock did want to win the belts at one point, because as far as story, his original idea was, I want to face whoever has the belt at WrestleMania, but instead they gave him Undertaker, which apparently was a match that people have been waiting to see, and it didn't live up at all. And the only thing that salvaged that was the fact that the streak did end.
I like the fact that the match sucked,
And then the streak ended.
Yeah, because
it was like the shock factor.
Oh, it was shock.
And it shows
like,
that
I
it shows that Taker.
Yeah, I was in there. I was in that building too, and it was just like.
Oh,
just the feeling of like, you know, everyone just looking at each other like, is
imagine
this
they got
real?
your reaction. They're like,
yeah, it was like, is this real? Yeah, I was in 30 also.
Imagine they had your reaction.
Oh, man.
Fifth row, by the way. I was sitting
money?
right next to Michelle McCool.
Okay. When this podcast ends, when we're done recording the session, we're gonna ask you how you go there every freaking day. You're talking about going to a show that costs almost as much as your rent. So pretty close.
We're gonna interrogate you like Batman.
Yes. Why'd you want to kill him?
No, but yeah, you know, but being in that building and it was just like, holy crap, this thing just ended. Like, first off, everyone thought Taker was gonna kick out, you know, and you could tell because no one was like into like the 1, 2. No one was into it at that. Even
That's
after that
cool,
F5, and it was just like when the third one hit, you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And his music didn't hit, and you know the referee looked like, you know, why is the crowd not reacting? And there, you know, there was reports saying that Vince was upset that no one reacted better. It was like, what do you want from us? We were shocked. Like, we weren't ready for this. The music didn't hit. Everyone was like, this must be a mistake. And then the 21-1 sign went up. It's like, holy crap, this was supposed to happen.
I love that because it was like
and then the music played like halfway through Brock going up the ramp. It was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the fact that no one knew except for the ref, Triple H, Vince, and Brock and Taker and Heyman. The only people that knew that was gonna, because even the bellkeeper didn't even ring the bell. It was just like, what happened?
What? Oh, they didn't ring the bell right away.
They could have rung. They could have rung the bell. I'm not sure, but I know the music didn't play. You know, the music plays no matter what. No matter how great the loss is, the music always plays right away.
Yeah, they didn't even play Brock's music.
And the fact that it was just quiet and everyone was just like, and even the ring announcer, you know, after the match is over, the ring announcer says the winner of this match, so and so. They didn't announce it right away. Even the ring announcer, even when he was saying it, he sounds confused. Like, I guess it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, they're like, no, people said that. This was so ridiculous. That decision was made 4 hours before the show happened.
4 hours before.
I heard Undertaker had to be talked into making that decision. Like, but if he really wanted it not to end, he could have said no.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, at the end of the day, I feel like it should have been his decision. I mean, it is his work.
No, it had to.
If anything, he's the most respected guy in that locker room.
No, the streak had to end though.
I think it's
people. Believe it or not, people. I have a friend who does a podcast himself, and I listened to him. They were talking about that. And him and a lot of people said that we don't mind the streak ending. It's just the way it was executed that they hate. Because the way it ended, it was like it didn't have like a hype moment. It wasn't like back and forth. If Undertaker got to do like one last tombstone on him, and he just like flipped him and then did the F5, that would have been better.
Anything.
That would have been like, oh my god.
Well, he got knocked out 2 minutes of the match having a concussion.
Exactly.
But the thing was, my problem with the ending was he went for the tombstone, he reversed it. And then, Brock hits the F5. I think Brock took way too long to hit that F5. He carried him around the wing and then did it. I was like, no, dude, just reverse it and hit it. Done.
Yeah. From there, Undertaker had the opportunity to win.
And that match looked exactly like Brock Taker in the Hell in a Cell match. It was the exact same thing. Oh, yeah. Ended the same way and everything. And I was just like, they just keep repeating this crap. Like,
I don't know. That could have been the guys themselves. I mean, because another thing, they also decide what they want to do to each other. Or how they're gonna do it, because look at Paige and AJ. Their chemistry is weird in the ring.
Oh yeah,
when they're wrestling,
but they're an interesting tag team.
But they're an interesting tag team. I would love the idea of the brunettes versus the blondes,
which is
Emma and Natalia, and then her and.
Wasn't it disappointing though?
Which is funny though, because like when Paige fights Naomi, they have great chemistry. Even when they first fight in FCW.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah, that it was good. It was a good match when they were both like in
Naomi and Paige.
Yeah, when they were both in.
Speaking of Emma and Paige and all these guys.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
NXT now. Some of us we don't always follow it, but I follow it for the girls, and I have to say they got good guys there. What you see in NXT is stuff you'll never see on the main roster.
No.
Even when those guys get there. And they, how should I put this? As far as the girls go, because I don't follow a lot of the guys. I know Sami Zayn is awesome. I saw his one match with Cesaro at
the match of the year, 2 out of 3 falls. You gotta see great.
I think it was at Arrival, was it?
Yes.
NXT Arrival.
Yes.
It
They
was
fought
so
twice,
great.
right?
Yeah, that Arrival was the second time.
Oh really?
The first time was the normal NXT.
Oh my god, the best match of
one
the
was
year
good,
ever.
yeah.
It was worth going on the internet to see it
course.
live. It was worth it.
Wow. Yeah, they I saw that match and it was so ridiculous how many times Sami Zayn kicked out before his body just couldn't take it.
Like, it's amazing though. It's like I'm not surprised at Sami Zayn himself, because some of us know about his past experience in different wrestling companies.
Yeah.
He wasn't known as Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
The same with Cesaro. Cesaro wasn't also known as Cesaro like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I think the only guy who ever gets to really show his stuff on the main roster is Cesaro.
Oh yeah.
Even when he loses,
But let's be honest.
his matches are always.
But now
Killer.
we have another one. Sooner or later, when he comes to WWE, Sami Zayn will be the same way as Cesaro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now that he's always losing.
Sooner or later,
Yeah.
Sami Zayn and Cesaro. One more time, one more
Only
match.
only this time on television.
So
for
he's
good.
never gonna win the NXT championship.
It's a possibility he might, but right now it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, right.
They probably want him to be more determined, more ambitious.
In a way, he's the top guy, right?
But so
For
far,
NXT, right?
yeah.
but-
In
yeah.
wrestling,
I think
Adrian
what
Neville
about
is
Adrian?
good too,
Him and
yeah.
Adrian Neville.
Adrian
Yeah.
Neville is good, but they haven't had the time for them to do it. Because like when he was, I thought he was gonna be number one contender when I saw Takeover.
Yeah.
But then they gave it to this pretty boy, but whatever. I don't know
Oh
why.
god, they gave it to the pretty boy.
That's
Yeah,
what
they
it
gave-
is.
they
It's about
gave-
Tyler
David.
Breeze has the belt.
No, he's the number one contender for the
I was about
belt.
to say,
It's
like,
just
what-
like
what?
giving the guy with the looks. It's not even about the guy with the talent.
Exactly. Sami Zayn is on it.
And he
Sami
has-
Zayn is the most talented person in that.
And he has,
Tyler
a
Breeze
spinning,
doing good.
he has a spinning wheel kick as a finisher, right?
Tyler Breeze, yes.
I haven't seen.
like, okay.
I haven't really watched him wrestle.
I'm loving
Is he
these
even good?
finishers now. I'm loving these finishers.
Yeah.
And but then let's talk about who's coming to NXT, boys. We got two awesome Japanese
Oh,
wrestlers
yeah.
coming to NXT.
Yeah, we got Kenta
And-
is finally being signed by NXT.
And the funny thing, I saw
You
that
got-
signing. Hulk Hogan, Jimmy
Yeah.
Hart, and somebody else from the WWE talents was there in Japan, signed him.
Where not only them, you got Kevin Steen, and then you have
Yeah, we got Kevin Steen also, and Prince
Prince
Devitt.
Devitt.
We got three awesome superstars.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's gonna. I'm telling you right now, NXT is gonna become the new Monday Night Raw for Thursdays.
You're
Yeah.
just gonna have
For
to
wrestling
give it,
wise, yeah.
you're gonna have to give it a SmackDown and just put that.
Like, what's the whole point of watching SmackDown? And we got NXT.
Yeah.
I hate. I can't. There's one thing that bothers me with NXT though. I hate that it's in such a small place now because if I'm not mistaken, they used to put it in a regular arena.
Yeah,
Didn't they?
yeah.
It kind of sucks that they don't do that anymore. Like it would be a good testament because you have to understand, like for Paige, people were speaking about how like they feel like when she talks, it's awkward
Paige?
on the main event on the main roster because
I can see why.
And I'm thinking, and people were saying it's probably because of the crowd change. It's different. It's one thing to talk in front of
200 people.
200 people, 300 people in a small space.
And then 10,000.
It's a different thing to jump from that to Madison Square Garden type crowds.
Yeah.
Where you got 18,000 people saying boo or yay or whatever the hell they want to say.
CM Punk.
And or CM Punk. Or you're being watched out by.
At this point, the most disrespectful chant you can get is CM Punk.
It's not even so much. It's not even no longer what.
Yeah,
Or
right.
yes. Because even
I'd much
that.
rather have the CM Punk than the what though, because
To be honest, I like the what.
I'd rather have
It's just
what
fun.
chanted out.
Because CM Punk, because the chants at this point,
You're
make no
using
sense.
it now.
It makes no sense now. They use what now for Rusev and Lana,
Yeah.
and the
Which
fact
is
that
not bad of a rivalry.
Oh,
I have to
yeah.
admit.
I just gotta mention the Nation of Domination.
Nation of-
the three wannabes, the
Ah,
PhD
three
guys.
wannabes.
I feel like we could mention them, but not at this point.
Yeah, we'll talk
Like,
about
we don't know
them.
them. We don't
Let's
know
see how
some
this
of
story
them.
builds up. I
Exactly,
want to see how they build up.
Yeah, I want to see how
Yeah.
they build up first.
That's a good thing they're doing with those three superstars.
course.
They're not getting noticed for their talent.
yeah.
They're not
I
getting
will-
noticed for their skills as much.
It's
Yeah.
true.
But now it could be something different.
Something-
now
yeah.
they could make it as a 3-man team or rivalry.
Yeah.
It's like fuck 3MB. We got the Nation of Domination.
And if anything, people are saying that the Shield could come, like when they're a threat, they could like reunite.
I think something like that. But
It's a good
what they're doing right now with the Shield is
They're, like,
okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with the Seth Rollins
The Seth Rollins
cash, Money in the Bank.
No Money in the
I
Bank.
don't agree with that either.
I feel like that they should put Rollins versus Ambrose at the next pay-per-view, and the winner gets the Money in the Bank. Just because if Seth Rollins cashes in the Money in the Bank, he's not gonna have that pop that we got from like when CM Punk cashed it, even when Ziggler cashed it, that crowd was amazing. You were there. That crowd was amazing. But I feel like if
this
Seth
dude in front of me was getting up, I couldn't see the man.
It's like you said.
He's like, yeah. He got up, and I'm like, because where we're sitting, it's horrible.
I was watching it in my TV,
and it was just like, it's not gonna have that big of a pop.
Yeah, I was having the time of my life in my theater.
Yeah, your little house with the big ass television.
No point.
72-inch, by the way.
Yeah, so
And
Rollins, I don't think Rollins is gonna have that big. It's not gonna have
pop.
that pop. But if you give it to Ambrose is gonna have that pop. You could just listen to him when he comes out on Raw. That pop when his music hits and the way they cheer for him.
it might be good.
have that.
You know what? That might be good
have
for Night of Champions.
Yeah, you're
Because
it's not a championship, but let's battle for this.
it's a battle for like
Imagine-
it might as well because
I don't know.
they don't have many belts anymore anyway. And another thing,
Bring back the hardcore belt. That's all I want to say.
yeah,
The hardcore belt?
Bring it back.
one thing that's been worrying me about this week.
Well, now, yeah, you could.
I mean, we're talking about different things, but this week has influenced a lot of thoughts about what we feel about everything. And I noticed something. Sheamus hasn't been around, and he has the United States Championship.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? He hasn't fought for it.
They don't have anything to do with him. I guess.
Yeah.
Which is bad. That's bad because he has a belt. He has it somewhere.
That was the same thing when the Ambrose had it. It was just like, here you go.
He was just there with that ball.
Oh,
But the thing is, at least he showed up.
Yeah, he showed up.
It's one thing to have it. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like let him do nothing with it, but at least Ambrose walked around with it.
Ambrose
but
was part of a group that time.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
he has to show up.
Yeah.
Well, that too, and then there was a time that Ambrose did a promo for the U.S. Championship, making it sound like that this was the belt to have. Forget the World Championship or the WWE Championship at the time. It's like, this is the
I
belt
remember
that
that
you want.
promo.
I was like, let's not get carried away.
That's what I'm saying. Like, give him the spotlight. You giving Seth. Why are you giving Seth Rollins? Like, it would. I don't know. Just
Dean Ambrose. No, the thing is, Dean Ambrose gets his share of spotlight because he's beating the crap out of Seth Rollins. He did it this past Friday night on SmackDown.
that's great. I love that.
I love Seth. I love Seth Rollins. So if he catches in, I'll
I'll
die.
I just don't want it to be anytime soon.
No, it can't be. It can't be soon.
I feel like Seth Rollins do what nobody else does.
But if
Because
anything,
the
what
thing-
happens? If anything, what happens if he turns face when he catches in?
Yeah.
Well,
So
that
like
could
when
be
Dolph
good.
did.
That could be good. But the problem is, here's the deal though. Like, I mean, with Seth Rollins cashing in, I don't know. I just hope it's not anytime soon because I'm not going to take it seriously. The thing is, Brock Lesnar, for all intents and purposes, needs to win because you can't have someone end the biggest streak in the world
And then lose.
and then lose to
His
someone
next
who
match.
he has lost.
Yeah.
Who he has lost to before. Brock hasn't been able to show that he's the scariest thing in the world yet anymore. It wasn't until that streak ending that we all know Brock is not someone to freaking mess with at all. He's a freak of nature for a reason.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman had a podcast. He said that like, you know who I have to give credit to, and I'm not doing this for hype. Brock Lesnar. Tell me anyone who's more believable than Brock Lesnar in the ring. That he is known to be probably the best seller, and he's the most believable in the work because he's not someone that you just bounce off of. He bounces off of you as well, and then his work is just unique in its sense where it makes sense for him. It works for him. He knows his stuff better than half the people. Like Kurt Angle, like. He's probably like him in that sense where they know their stuff like that. And another thing, Brock doesn't make excuses for anything. He could have a busted head open. He'll walk to an arena bleeding out of his mind. So and he deserves to have a scary reign. Even maybe not a reign, but just like be able to give a chance to show that he is Brock Lesnar for a reason, that he is scary for a reason.
But they got to at least keep him around now, right?
Yeah.
Like around the arena at times.
I mean,
instead of just making him win and just making him leave for a couple of months and coming right back.
Well, that's his own deal.
That's his contract.
That's his own deal. They made a contract with him because they know he's stubborn. He's a person who doesn't like people to begin with. He's not a people person.
Yeah.
So he lives, like Paul Heyman has said, he lives literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, there was one time, he's moved from place to place. He lived at one point where you would need to
go walk a mile to a telephone post, and if you're not within a certain region, you're not going to reach him. So how he meets with Brock Lesnar is beyond me. But Brock, that's his own deal. He has this multi-contract deal where he can come and go at this point.
It's probably the only thing that's making me not want him to win. That's probably one of the only things, because I feel like the champion should be around because he's the champ.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's representing the company for a reason. So
Paul Heyman, I feel, is
that's probably the only thing. Unless Paul Heyman's gonna be the one carrying that shit around.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be okay.
but I kind of like the thing with you leave for like weeks or months and then you come back, just because we see these same people every week, and eventually we get bored of them because they hit us with the same stuff. But then you have someone like Brock Lesnar that comes back every couple of months, and it's like, oh shit, another comeback,
Now that I think about it,
well, that makes sense.
Now that I think about it,
like the same way you feel about Undertaker when he coming back for once a year, and then it's like, holy crap, he's back finally.
When a person gets an injury and shit, when he comes back, I don't know, he's like, okay, this is gonna be awesome.
Hulk Hogan, if I'm not mistaken, I think because I have their 50-year DVD thing. I think they said that it was a big deal to see the champion when he would show up. That Hulk Hogan, I think, didn't always show up when he had that belt. And he had that for, I think 4 years.
Yeah.
But then again, wrestling was different in the 80s. But even at that time, you wouldn't... I think, to a certain degree, he wasn't showing up as a regular. I could be wrong, but I remember hearing something about that, you had to pay... You would pay more if he shows up because he's a champion. Mm-hmm. So... I think in a way they're kind of they might be doing a bit of an old-fashioned thing with Brock where he only shows up for specific things. Because think about it, how often is he really going to defend that title? They always defend it at pay-per-views. Yeah. It's very rare that they ever defend it on a weekly show.
He'll definitely defend it at Night of Champions if he has it.
He's gonna be there for a while. If he wins, he has to be there for a while. Yeah. Which is weird to me. I'm thinking, how is that gonna work? Because he doesn't show up a lot. Paul Heyman's gonna talk for him. And he doesn't show up on weekly shows. Now, if they make it work, maybe it could work. I mean, he doesn't... When I think about it, I think about the guys who have it every freaking week. That must be annoying, to be honest. Number two, they don't defend it often. They defend it once a month. So it's fine if he doesn't show up. Maybe it'd be good if he does it for, the 2 weeks before that show, just to, promote it. Because he has to show that he's a threat. But... if he can give solid matches at these pay-per-views, that would be enough to say who's going to stop him.
Yeah, point. He's an ass kicker. He doesn't really want to be a superstar.
Yeah. Speaking of ass kickers, speaking of ass kickers, there's one guy who I'm very disappointed that I don't feel scared of. Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. Yeah, let me just say this about Bray Wyatt. All right, when they first brought Bray Wyatt in, it was refreshing. It was the greatest thing that you could think of. It was the next Undertaker, the scary guy. Mm-hmm. And then you have him. They build him all the way up, and then he shows up at Elimination Chamber with his family in the ring, looking at Cena you're the one I want next.
Yeah.
To then have him lose at WrestleMania 30 was the biggest mistake that you could have done. If you didn't want him taken out, then don't put him against Cena so early.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the biggest mistake they could have made. And then of course he won when the promo they did after that where he brought all the children to the ring wearing the mask. That was beautiful. I was like, this is getting me right back into this feud. Mm-hmm. Have him win that, and then to lose the third and final match between the three was just, why would you kill him off? And then you're gonna have him lose to Jericho. Yeah. It's why would you build up this monster and then
why are you ruining this? Literally a year after he has
exactly. You could have done something. So you could have build up Brock Lesnar to where Brock Lesnar has to face Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt turns face, and have him take out Brock Lesnar.
Brock. Because Bray, when I first saw his promos, I was just weirded out, and they looked like a freaking horror movie, and I hate that. I don't know if it's because it's PG and these guys would be on the verge of becoming more than that, but I'm saying the hell with that. Undertaker is relevant 25 years after, 24 years after debuting as the freak that he is. Because let me tell you something, when he debuted, Paul Heyman said, and I've seen his debut, but I didn't realize this. He said, if you look at the crowd, if you look at the first few rows, the kids there, when they see Undertaker for the first time, they are horrified. With Bray Wyatt, I don't know how many people felt like that because when I went the second Monday Night Raw, I think that was maybe the second or third week after he debuted when he shows up in Brooklyn for the first time, and after that, I was like, I'm thinking this guy seeing how he had all this momentum, I was like, damn, who would beat this guy? When they were gonna have him face Cena, I was like, no, whatever you do not have Cena win, because it wouldn't make him scary anymore. Cena is the measuring stick of who is gonna be at the top. He was already being considered one of their top heels because he beat Daniel Bryan. He beat, I think, one or two other guys before that. But, and he's beaten guys who are champions. But Daniel was already, like, just hitting his peak at that point. He doesn't count. He counts, but not to the same degree because he's not John. He's not in the level of John is. If you can't beat John, then you're not scary, unfortunately, especially in this case. And the way he beats John is stupid. He beats it in such a horrible crafted match at Extreme Rules where it's just back and forth slamming each other into the cage. It wasn't even fun to watch. And then the way that John's scared is because a kid shows up with a deep voice. He's got the whole world singing. I'm like, well, this is stupid. I'm like, this is not fun. You're not scary. What should be scary is seeing him getting pinned after Sister Abigail. And I'm thinking, with the Chris Jericho thing, I'm thinking what can make him scary is his finisher. If they let him win at SummerSlam, which I probably should be, because Jericho will put anyone over, but they probably had a reason for letting him win. Because I don't think he got to do Sister Abigail on him in that match. So I'm thinking if you get hit with Sister Abigail, then maybe that's when you're out like a light. But John was hit with Sister Abigail at WrestleMania, right?
Yes.
He kicked out. That's the mistake.
Of course.
That's the mistake. You shouldn't have had him kick out at all or if anything, struggle with it because, Bray Wyatt can be the next mixture of Mankind and Undertaker because he's weird like him and then he's eerie like the Undertaker. And that probably could have been perfect for him because it was WrestleMania. He probably could have been the guy to carry the next torch of that.
Let him break the streak.
Let him eat. I was like, that would be perfect because it could be just a general streak instead of just the Undertaker streak. Because it is WrestleMania. It's just that Undertaker's the one that has it. So I'm thinking whoever could have beaten him could have been the guy who carries it on. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen even with Brock Lesnar because Brock can do it for maybe 10 years, say. But it's really up to him. And he's a very iffy person to begin with. The only reason why Undertaker doesn't show up is because, he has the tenure to not do anything for a year. But, it's just sad because I always been saying I want to be scared of Bray. Like, I want to be scared for anyone who deals with him, and I'm not. So, that's just horrible.
Yeah, they have to do a lot of scary shit in order to make him back where he was in the beginning.
Yeah,
they really gotta make him messed up. They really gotta make him wilder than he usually was in the beginning.
Yeah, at WrestleMania, I was just like, please, John Cena, get injured. Like, I'm sorry, I don't wish harm to anyone, but I'm just like, Cena, please get injured, just so that Wyatt can win this, and then he goes on, and you don't show up for the next 6 months, so this way Wyatt looks like a freaking monster.
Yeah. I was like, when I knew that ending would have ruined it, I was like, that's it, he's ruined. He's ruined.
Yeah, and then
After all that momentum, I'm just like, I don't know if it's Vince McMahon or maybe I think Twink is right. I think John is too much of a kiss ass because I don't think John is stupid enough to be like, he knows this guy can beat the crap out of anybody. Bray's character alone is scary enough, and it's just. I mean, I know I'm going on this, but it's just it really disappoints me because he's the one guy who I just love seeing because it's so cool to see it.
Yeah, what was the point of Cena winning though? What did that
doesn't do anything.
That doesn't do anything for Cena anymore.
That's the thing.
His last great win was The Rock. Let's face it, it was just like I have to get over this. After him losing to Rock, and he had 1 year of like just tragic losses and stuff like that. He finally gets to break and he gets Rock one more time, and that was like his last great win. You can't give anyone to Cena like that. He didn't have, he has the credit, but Bray Wyatt needed that credit. He needed to beat Cena. He needed to look like this monster. Where it was just like
to be honest, I feel like after this whole Jericho thing, I feel if Bray just ends up getting more tarnished than
Bray's
Fix,
gonna be the next Brodus Clay at this point.
no.
Yeah.
I won't give up on Bray.
No, they're not gonna give up on him
He's
because
gonna be like Vladimir. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not many people remember him though.
or I just
That guy
pray
was going big.
I just pray to the Lord that they do not do anything stupid with him any further because Bray is too good to tarnish like that. Especially
about the WWE. Of course
He has
they
the
do
best
something
gimmick.
stupid.
He's a big guy and he can move. That's
Yeah,
rare.
yeah.
Like the last time they saw that was the young Big Show. Like the big guy that can move and do like
True, yeah,
moves off the top rope and stuff like that. And you got that with Bray who could bend his back backwards and then you're just gonna have him lose.
Yeah, he already has a taunt. He already has a crazy taunt.
Yeah, he has a taunt. He's creepy just with like, especially that hair in his face. When he first confronts Jericho, that's where I was like, oh, crap.
He's a good character, and we don't really have good characters anymore. We don't have good gimmicks.
You know what?
Yeah.
I just remembered. I'll tell you how good this guy is. I was watching an interview he had right before Battleground, and here's the scary thing: you're watching him as a person. You're not really completely watching him as a character. He said, and it's literally, I don't write promos or anything. I'm not a guy who sits in the back just writing, how can I make this guy crazier? You're seeing me. I just go out there and speak what I'm thinking at the moment. Because I believe in these kind of crazy things. I believe in those cult kind of beliefs. So, I just go with where my mind takes me. And he's speaking as himself because he's very soft tone here. And I was like, that's even scarier. That he's improvising on the spot, on the regular. So that should be enough to tell you, don't ruin this guy. You got probably one of your best guys ever. And, I don't know. I say, if anything, if he ever loses again, he should disappear for a while and come back with a vengeance. I say that's the only way
that could be good too, yeah.
That's the only way you're going to salvage him. He should disappear for a month or two.
Put him in a buried alive match and then have him lose it.
Oh, well, when was the last time we had that, right?
Yeah.
Because if you remember the last time that we saw that, well, maybe not the last time, was Undertaker went in as, the American Badass Taker, and then he came, when he got buried alive, comes back and starts scaring Kane with the bells and stuff like that, and then he comes back at WrestleMania as the old Taker, like the Taker from now. And he's like, do that again. Do that with him.
Randy
especially when
he came out with a casket.
Especially
we could have the Wyatts and then not have Bray for a while.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can have the Wyatts without him.
Yeah. They already have their own theme.
Luke Harper, I love his face when he does when he opens his eyes wide.
Oh yeah,
it's just so.
And Rowan with that match with Jericho.
Yeah, Rowan. Yeah, it's
amazing.
Yeah, I like it when him and Goldust confront each other, Eric and Goldust, because they just look at each other like, ooh.
Who's weirder?
Yeah, it's like who's weirder. Unfortunately, Stardust wins that by default because Goldust is true. Goldust said it himself. He's like, wow. Now I'm the normal one. Yeah. Because even in the promos, Stardust is the retarded, crazy nuthead. It's like, what is the color of a cowboy saddle? He said it this week. He's like, is it brown? No, the answer is always Stardust. I'm like, something like that. I don't like the hell. Because Goldust, it's funny always seeing Goldust doing his catchphrase, and then he gets interrupted. He's like, Goldust, and then Stardust just blows crap in his mouth. Like, stop it! Like,
that's.
It's funny. Stardust looks like the younger brother of Goldust because he acts like it too. But so I just hope Bray gets momentum again. And I think on one of our last things we should discuss here, because we're crunching in on time here, is
TNA.
Yeah, let's talk about our alternative. Our alternative to WWE.
This is Mr. Second Place. Don't talk to the end like that.
Mr. Second. I say alternative because they're not really considered competition, unfortunately.
Oh, CM Punk calls the independent scene.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's like part of the.
That's horrible.
That's what's so good.
That's the thing. Yeah, their arenas are tiny, but yeah, unfortunately TNA is they're in trouble. They're on the verge of getting canceled from Spike TV, and people are wondering how.
Well, they're getting canceled from Spike.
Yeah.
Now it's just who's picking them up if anyone wants them
To
at
be
all.
honest,
They have till October.
basically,
Yeah.
they're showing their resume every single Thursday until October, and so far I'm liking it. They brought back the 6-sided ring, which was awesome in the beginning. I don't know why they took it off in the beginning at all.
To compete with WWE.
Like shit, they're bringing
That was
people.
so
They're
stupid.
bringing people back. They're bringing Homicide. They got Low Key back. Samoa Joe is acting almost like himself
They're
sooner or
bringing Sexy
later.
back.
They're bringing Sexy back.
Exactly, that's how it feels like. They're bringing Sexy
But the
back.
funny
I'm like,
thing is,
shit.
though, they look more independent though.
Yeah, but like, dude, we
they don't
got
look
the
big anymore.
Hardy Boys now on
Yeah.
TNA. Like like in August soon, they're gonna have a 3-way tag team match. Team 3D, which are back together.
Yeah.
The Hardy Boys and the Wolves. Yo, how when was the last time you saw the Hardys and Team 3D
That match was good.
in
That
a
match was
wrestling
good.
ring?
Like WrestleMania 20, I mean, not even.
Yeah.
Like 17,
Exactly.
18.
And knowing that TNA is gonna use that sooner or later and have the Wolves, an independent wrestling tag team group that were in ROH and shit, going into the big time on TV, that's pretty much good. If you didn't see the Hardy Boys, which started up the match with the Wolves,
That match was
it
good.
killed it.
Yeah.
It killed it. The only disappointing thing is that Jeff needs help in his stamina because he can't carry out the match like Matt
Even
Hardy.
though he looked
Matt
tired
Hardy
throughout the match, he did a lot of stuff.
He did a lot of stuff, but then
Yeah.
he does need help with his stamina because he was getting knocked out here and there and everywhere. Matt Hardy was doing great. He was kicking ass like he always kicked out. He knows how to drag out matches.
Yeah.
I seen a match before TNA with Matt Hardy before Matt Hardy like came back to TNA. I saw a match with AJ Styles and Matt Hardy. It was an amazing match.
Yeah.
It took 2 hard-ass twists of fate to beat the crap out of AJ Styles.
That's crazy.
And he was respected. Matt Hardy respected
Was
as
it-
one
was
of
that
the
match that you
great.
sent me?
Yeah, he was respected as one of the greatest wrestlers he knows.
That match was good, yeah.
Yeah, he was well respected. I'm like, shit, like a dude that came from TNA, and now he's making big time. He was in the independent. Let's be honest. He wrestled Daniel Bryan. He wrestled CM Punk. I don't remember too much about
Jeff Hardy, right?
Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles, both of them. They wrestle a lot of
Styles.
AJ Styles is a wrestler.
People always wonder why is it that WWE wants nothing to do with Styles, and Styles is like awesome.
It's because like Howard showed me a testing match that he had. It wasn't that good at all. It was really horrible.
Oh wow.
No, he could have
think-
been big,
I
but
think-
I think what happened was that AJ turned him down. He wanted to do
Actually,
other-
it's true.
He turned him down.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it's true. I think I
AJ, how would you not want
I thought it was
AJ?
horrible. One of the promo matches you showed me.
No, he had like 3 matches with
Yeah,
him.
I know, but you showed me one of them, and it was
And
like,
they were like 2 of them were
man.
like on Velocity back when it was Velocity.
Yeah. But then he had one with I think it was Rico. No, I don't think it was Rico, but
No, I know you showed me the one with the hurricane, which you lost.
and the fans were into it. He did the shooting star press.
Yeah.
So if he stayed in WWE, he could have been like a Evan Bourne
They use
guy.
But where's Evan Bourne?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Evan Bourne was never good in WWE. I don't think so.
Yeah. But
Not for me.
let's just say like
He was good in ECW.
Yeah.
He was good in
Yeah.
ECW though.
Yeah, some guys think that they should. One guy said on a comment, I think on Bleacher Report or something like that. He said, they think WWE should buy them and then have like an invasion storyline.
No, it's not gonna work. This
They're
way.
gonna
no,
mess
it won't-
up.
it won't work-
Because
it won't
even
work
when that happened, they like
messed it
shitted on the
It's
on the
still-
WCW wrestlers.
They're gonna
TNA is still
'Cause
reforming itself. It's
Yeah.
not yet at the peak and where you can have a freaking invasion.
Hey,
Yeah.
if anything, Nickelodeon they could take in.
I think the problem is that TNA
ABC
is not completely PG at all.
My friend Samuel think AMC should take it.
AMC?
I can see AMC
My
or Fox taking it. I can see Fox
AMC?
taking it.
Yeah, Fox should use
I
it.
think mine.
But
I think
Fox
I think
definitely.
mine-
Fox will
I
take
can see
anything.
Fox.
I think
Fox will
mine.
take
I think
anything.
mine 9 could take it because it takes
Wait, what?
mine 9, Channel 9, like UPN 9 and all that.
Not yeah.
It could take it.
Oh, and they can hit so many. They can hit
Yeah.
promos after promos like how WWE used to be there. And it's like, look, now we got My 9 again. You got kicked off of My 9.
My 9 kicked them off.
Yeah, My 9 didn't want to resign WWE.
Didn't.
Oh, they didn't.
They kicked.
They
them
were on
out
My
right
9.
away.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They were on My 9, and then
SmackDown
well, they
was
were on My 9 back when it was UPN 9, and then UPN and WWE's 11.
I was lucky
combined
because I didn't
together.
have that much channels. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because I saw Smack. I remember when SmackDown came back to UPN 9, whatever it is now.
Yeah, because I know
it wasn't there for that long. It was
And
only
Raw
there
was
for like
a
a couple of
Spike.
like 2 or 3 months, and then left.
And
Raw was on
Spike
Spike.
took it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Raw was on Spike back when it was, what was it, TNN or something like that? It was like TNN back then, and then they became Spike. It was like the channel for guys, and then Spike didn't want WWE no more, and then WWE went back to
Spike.
Because I was
Back to
thinking,
USA.
I'm thinking I wonder, is it because they're on USA that they're PG? Because
I think so.
because TNA is not considered PG, right?
No,
No.
man.
They don't know what they.
They don't know what they are.
What PG is in Spike TV? Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can also look at it as upside too. What happens if TNA does get canceled? You know, all that talent that can come back to WWE.
That's true. That was something
It's
that
a
people were saying.
possibility.
They're saying they could probably go over to WWE, but that's a matter of WWE accepting.
What I feel
their
bad for.
standards are so different.
I feel bad for
Like,
Ezekiel. He
just-
left WWE to go.
He's like, damn,
I don't know what to do.
Same thing with the Hardy Boys. They're gonna I don't want to go back.
Jeff,
Actually,
I think Jeff will go
Jeff,
to
I
WWE.
think,
It's
wants
just
to
that
end his
he's
career
loyal
there,
to
though.
TNA.
Yeah, but he keeps juggling back and forth. He was WWE. He went TNA, came back and had a run, won 3 championships, 3 main championships,
Yeah.
and then went back to TNA.
His
It's like,
To win
His
big
best-
championships once again.
yeah,
His best run was probably 2008, right? That was like his best
I
run.
would say so.
I will say
He was
when-
perfect, even though he was on drugs.
I will say
He was great.
I will say 2009 because he beat the Undertaker that time
Oh,
in an
yeah.
Extreme Rules match, and Big Show came to interfere. That match was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's when Jeff Hardy started wearing those those war paint matches,
Yeah.
black and
Yeah.
white. That's when he won the title, the big titles that time. That's when I think his big time came out of nowhere.
So-
I'm like, damn, yo, Jeff Hardy's going in on the Undertaker, and he's like, I don't need nobody's help. And then after that, he went after the Big Show. He was interfering, and then he ended it up like that. I was like, damn, now this is awesome.
His feud with
So-
CM Punk was amazing.
Oh
It was
yeah,
awesome.
it was great. I
Yeah.
just wish they wouldn't have ended it like that.
So you guys, so you guys think AMC would be a good?
I think it would be actually.
AMC would make sense for
Yeah, because their ratings are not like normal.
they're-
I mean, look at
yeah.
Walking Dead. It's
exactly AMC
anything
would
to
make
get
the
that
most
gory.
sense. It would make the most sense. AMC.
Dude,
Definitely.
Breaking Bad.
Look at that, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. The Walking Dead is like people question how did they not censor you?
Mad
It's
Men.
like,
Yeah.
we do it until they tell us.
Oh wow.
Until they tell us you can't do this, we're gonna keep
They're
doing
at the
it.
top. That'll be.
So there you go, TNA. There's your suggestion.
They got
AMC.
Yeah, so TNA, I was
some throwback
yeah.
Thursdays.
throwback Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember I saw all 4 Jaws movies.
Yeah.
Sounds-
Except for after the second one, it kind of went very downhill for them. But yeah,
Well, the fourth
This is
one.
something I'll
Yeah.
admit.
The third one's decent.
yeah. There's one thing that I wanted to bring up from NXT was that well actually with TNA because I don't watch it a lot, but I watched like maybe one promo with Austin Aries when he had with Lashley, was it?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley. He was
Bobby
good
Lashley.
too.
I hate that I didn't get a chance to see the match.
The match was pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta see who did that. I gotta see who did that, who ended that match because don't tell me please, but because that promo kind of sold me. I was like, I don't watch TNA, but I'll watch that. So you know,
Party one.
no, but I saw Jeff Hardy's match with I think it was Lashley. I think he had a match with him.
Yeah.
I saw it. It looked so believable. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
so
he
much
did
more real. I was like, WWE sucks.
He did the swanton to the steps. I was
Yeah,
like, God damn.
that miss. It's like that's it. It's already over, and it makes sense. Why it should
I
be
was
over
like, oh
after
my
that.
god, it looked so much more brutal. I'm like, why is WWE lacking on this? Even with guys like Daniel, it's like nothing seems so believable anymore.
Like Jeff and Dave.
Very few times you see them. You see the guys catching them. You see them throwing their arms before they land on them when they're doing suicide dives
Because
in WWE.
WWE is less about wrestling.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
they-
storyline
Yeah,
now.
the
Yeah,
storyline.
in TNA, but
Even
the
though
thing is,
storyline
storyline
sucks sometimes.
even in storyline they suck though in a way because I mean they're getting better with the girls. They have like 3 different stories. Even if they're not completely the best yet, they're going. Naomi got her thing with Cameron. Paige has AJ, and you know and then Stephanie and Brie, which some people feel. A guy on Bleacher Report said that he feels the preview is going to be better than the match itself because Stephanie's not exactly a wrestler and Brie is not so. She's decent, but not exactly enough to steal a show.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you can
But-
do that, but I was thinking have Nikki turn heel.
Oh,
and do
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
Brie versus Nikki.
Yeah, Brie versus Nikki. I mean, that's more believable than Stephanie versus anybody.
God,
That's
Stephanie.
true.
But
Like,
but the thing is, she got such a
yeah,
huge
just-
pop. I'm like,
I know, but
that's
just have Brie go against Stephanie, and then Nikki comes out and like interferes and screws Brie over, and have Stephanie win, and then it's just like we broke up the authority, like we broke up the Shield and we got Seth Rollins. Now we broke up the Bellatons and I got one of you. Like they can just keep building on that, where it's just like back when it was like with the corporation, they had all these big guys, and now you can do the same thing
That
with
would be
authority.
that would be so sad.
that would be sad. I mean,
If
I would like the idea of Nikki and her fighting, but that would be a good way to end it.
The authority having like another girl figure.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say they will. They probably. The thing is, I mean, I know
And she
Stephanie.
could play a bad person.
Yeah,
I got a quick
Nikki.
question.
Yeah.
What?
Do y'all think the Divas is boring, right?
Depends on what Divas on the show.
Depends
Yeah.
on.
No, like I think.
Depends on how long the match
I
is.
think
and
it's
who-
If it's
boring.
Eva
I think
Marie,
it's
I mean,
boring because
like-
they always have the same type of matches. They never mix it up.
Yeah, it's never.
They mix it
never
up. The thing I like, well, I mentioned TNA because I actually pretty like those two damn matches I saw.
Yeah, I saw.
Like,
I saw the knockout
I
match.
seen the women's last man standing match, which was pretty damn awesome.
I've seen the women compare to that.
And I seen the last, and I
saw Gail Kim.
and I seen a
for the
ladder
5
match.
minutes that she had because a group that those two bimbos interrupted it. I don't remember their names. I saw Gail
what's their name
Kim.
again?
I forgot the girl's name she was facing. It was awesome for the 5 through 4 minutes that they had,
The girl from ECW.
and I was like,
Oh,
damn.
Taryn, right?
Taryn Terrell, yeah.
I think so, yeah. And then I was like, oh my god, why did they ruin it?
The match was
I was like, damn. Like I finally see Gail Kim wrestle, and it was like awesome. And then and yeah, the WWE, like I hate that they ruined Emma, and she's actually my favorite one. I like her and Bailey because I'm into cork. I like girls with corks, so they're very quirky, but they but the thing is that there's one thing. Emma, I hope they do something big with her. She doesn't. If they don't want her to talk, that's fine. She can be good, because in NXT she doesn't talk a lot, but she's relevant.
I mean, think of it this way: like they had a chance to fire her. They had a good reason, and they stick to her.
They didn't really have a good reason.
They didn't
have a
that
good
was
reason.
that was a complete accident.
That was
First of all, it's the machine to blame because
Okay, we don't know.
no, shut up, because this is what they said, that she used a self-checkout, and those machines screw up on you all the time. What happened was that she had the stuff in the cart, but it didn't read it right away. She didn't realize that it didn't read it. Because the self-checkout, you scan the thing or whatever, it didn't read that she had the stuff. I don't know how it is, but at Walmart, I'm thinking you just put on the conveyor belt now. But for some reason, it didn't read that last item, which was an iPhone case. And she got fired over $21.
Compared to people that got arrested and thing for DUI.
Jack Swagger.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a good idea.
Alex
but, like,
Riley.
Oh, really?
Alex?
Hey,
Chris
don't
Jericho.
mention their names.
Well,
Chris
he
Jericho.
fought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They don't want to know that.
No, I'm not saying it's a good idea. You know, it sounds
embarrassing,
stupid.
though.
I was pissed.
Yeah, I was.
But
I
I'm
was so
saying, like,
sad.
No, like they're firing so many people. Like
They're
they
doing
had
it
a
now.
stupid reason to fire Emma, and they didn't stick with it. So that just shows that they want us. They have something in store for it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
WWE had predictions a couple of months back that by next year they see John Cena turning heel. They see, I think, Roman Reigns getting the belt,
John Cena will never turn heel.
and then
He's not.
that's the only one I doubt. But there's one that I'm liking: Emma taking the Divas Championship by next year, and I would so love that because
I do not see that at all.
Why?
I would love all four.
Emma is awesome.
She's cool, but
over
like
a
they're not
year?
really doing any. Yeah, they're not really doing
that's
anything
not gonna
with her.
happen.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
what I'm
gonna
saying.
happen.
You never know.
But
You
so
never
far,
know.
the year's gonna end in like what? A couple of months.
They could do a lot in a couple of months.
So
We
far,
could
they
do a
haven't
lot,
done
bro.
shit.
So you can give Paige
The championship
a
the first
bit
night.
the first night, which was
That-
actually, believe it or
that's
not,
different,
as
though.
hype. But here's the thing: as hyped as I was, it was only hyped because it's the European crowd, first of all.
Yeah, but
And
we
the
got-
night after WrestleMania.
And the night after WrestleMania, it's always going to be the
Yeah,
biggest night. But even I was like, what the hell? Why
Yeah,
didn't
but
they
you-
just build on that?
Yeah.
Because unlike Jericho tweeted that he liked, like, that's the way you make stars. But I'm like, But she just debuted. Even if she is a veteran in her own right as a wrestler herself, she's 21. She's just debuted on a main roster. Why give her a belt? I mean, there are a couple of reasons why they did that, but even so, like, you know, you can do that, but then you guys are saying Emma, you don't see Emma getting it next year.
The thing is that you got Paige, who, like, she was like the top girl in NXT. And then you got Emma, who...
She debuted first.
She did.
She did.
But,
I
like,
mean,
then you put her in WWE. You put her in like the main roster, and then she's not really
Paige has
gaining a big pop.
Main roster before NXT, and Emma not so much. You put a Paige, which was champion for NXT for a long time.
Yeah.
And why not make her win the Divas title? And besides, she's the first NXT women's and a Divas championship together. She had both titles in her hand.
She had to be stripped of it.
Exactly. She had no choice. But look how history was made for NXT.
Yeah.
That's nice. And that's when make people more interested in NXT, because things like that could happen.
Yeah.
Emma, the only reason I didn't think Emma will do it, will be good in the next year. I know she's good, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be ready. It's not going to be ready. I think there's so much improvements they need, because they stuck with Santino for a while now, which is probably a joke. No offense.
They made her to a joke.
No offense to Santino, but it was a joke for her for a while. I think it's going to take time when people could get serious about Emma again.
Yeah.
Because like NXT Arrival, which Emma and Paige match was fucking fantastic.
I think what we have in our hands is like a Daniel Bryan. He's of course he's amazing. Everybody loved him, but it had to take a while for him to like be a champion.
Let's be honest. One road kick made Daniel Bryan to a joke for a while.
I hated that. I hated that.
And then look what happened. It took him a while, but then it was worth it, because after that while, look at him how he is now.
Yeah.
He's the yes man. He's the whole yes.
Emma has the potential, but we gotta build to that. You know what I mean?
You gotta improve on how she was thought of before you give it her, because Paige wasn't thought about anything. Paige was just her own right. The NXT champion.
I think that's their problem, because Paige. Paige, I don't think spoke a lot on NXT to begin with either, but even with the very few times. But even like the thing is, Emma is not a mic person, and yet she's considered very relevant. And the thing is, she has a mean streak, but they're not letting her do that, because there's a reason why her and Paige are always like blockbusters, I think. Because they both have mean streaks, and they're both opposites, and it works.
Yeah.
They're like the very few opposites attract. And they work well together. And the thing is that, like, you know, Emma, what I would like to see by next year, if anything, just give her the title shot. Paige, whoever has it at that time, could keep it, but at least give her the shot, because it shows that Emma can be a serious contender. She is good. You see it in NXT. Her finisher scares the crap out of me, and I love how she does it, because when she does it, she flips the person back. She flips the person over to where they hit their face, and that distracts them while she locks her leg in, and then grabs their head like a slingshot, and it's awesome. I'm liking that's such a good finisher, and I'm like, why is it that we don't see that a lot now? And you know, I'm just disappointed with the girls that I like, but you know. Sometimes the ones that you don't see a lot are the ones that are going to win in the end. So, you know, I mean, and Bayley, who's in NXT, I hate that I haven't been able to see her for 2 weeks. She, no.
You're a sweetheart, right, Max? Let's be honest.
I have my favorites, you have yours. Mm-hmm. And Bayley, there's one distinction. There's one big distinction, two actually. She is bubbly in a different way than Emma, but the problem is she doesn't have a mean streak, and then she's a little, according to you, naive. Harold Jones said that the problem is that she's a little naive, and I think from what I've seen is a little true, because she has the gimmick of a 12-year-old.
Yeah, like that's what I'm like too. She's not so much naive, but like she's too innocent.
Yeah, so she's innocent. What's good though is that she'll be considered very entertaining in the main roster. So I hope that something happens with her. But anyway, I think we could end it there for now. But
what else? So
What else?
So people, we got so much topics to do next time.
Yeah.
If y'all want us to talk about sex, you can hit me up on my Facebook.
They actually. Let's cut it off here for now. We'll continue this on a later date.
Yeah, we're gonna have dinner, so.
Yeah. So thanks to whoever listens to this. Let us know, comment, share, like, whatever the media lets you do. Give suggestions. We're open to open suggestions. I'm sure you guys are going to talk about the length of this, but if you guys enjoyed it, let us know. If not, just give us suggestions. Constructive criticism, please. Nothing negative.
Go negative. We go negative back. Come on.
Well, negative is the good kind of negative, not the kind where you're just going to call us a bunch of a-holes or whatever you want to call us because you want to be dumb like that. You really want to argue with people on the social media. But thank you.
Please don't hurt our feelings.
Okay, Mr. Sensitive. And we will speak to you guys on a later date.